It's Wednesday, December 21st, from the Total Soccer Show, Dirty Tackle, and Howler Magazine. This is The Goalmouth. I'm George Qureshi. On today's menu of bite-sized soccer news, Alex Morgan has some career news. We check in with two Americans in the Bundesliga. Karamoko Dembele is back in the headlines. If James Rodriguez is going to England, why is he in Colombia? The St. Louis MLS group is shamed for seeking, quote, welfare for millionaires. And you know Bob Bradley, but allow me to introduce Brad Bobley. First up, Alex Morgan is joining Olympique Lyonnais until June, which means she will miss the start of the NWSL season for the Orlando Pride. In an essay for the Players Tribune, she explains that she's excited to play for the French champion, which also won the Champions League and the Coupe de France, because A, all of her teammates play for their national teams, B, she'll get to play on grass, and C, she's 27 years old and she wants to be the best player in the world. One person who is no doubt super psyched about this development is Lyon chairman Jean-Michel Aulas, who has been tweeting affectionately / creepily at Morgan for a really long time now. David Rudin has chronicled his obsession over on whatahowler.com, and he includes a quote from an interview Aulas did with the magazine Lyon 2.0. Here's the question. Do you think that a club president can currently recruit players on Twitter? Aulas answered, no, definitely not. For instance, I tweet Alex Morgan jokingly. If I wanted to contact her, I'd call her agent. Seeing the reaction of dweebs who think I come on Twitter to get in touch with her cracks me up. That's the goal. I get endless amusement from Twitter. Then, I read the tweets, and when I see, President, you made me laugh, I tell myself that the joke worked. Oh, okay. So far, I have to say the best response to one of those creepy tweets came from a user named Marion, who said, "You're making everyone uncomfortable, Jean-Mi." Over in the Bundesliga, Bobby Wood scored Hamburg's winning goal yesterday in a victory over Schalke that moved Hamburg out of the automatic relegation zone, i.e. the bottom two places. We have a link to the video of that in today's email and on the website. Also, Timmy Chandler signed a new contract for Eintracht Frankfurt, his hometown team, after which he said, I want to tell my wife where we will live in the future so I can sleep better again. God, poor Timmy. You doing all right there, buddy? Okay, when Karamoko Dembele, the 13-year-old Celtic phenom, debuted with the club's U20 team, the Goalmouth covered it. When he debuted with Scotland's under-16 team, the Goalmouth was there. In fact, both tidbits happened to fall on my day. I couldn't be happier to announce that Dembele has once again made a debut, this time for England's under-15 team, after which he tweeted, good experience at England, glad to have won 5-2 against Turkey, and have assisted one, played well. Good job, Karamoko. James Rodriguez was spotted back home in Colombia, and it is being reported that he is there to secure an English visa so that he can presumably join Chelsea in the transfer window. I bring this up so that I can also mention that Real Madrid will not miss him. Mario Melchior pointed out on Twitter that Zinedine Zidane has won more titles, 3, in his time in charge than he has lost games. He has lost 2 games. Wow. The ownership group trying to start an MLS franchise in St. Louis is temporarily halting its effort to secure a $40 million tax credit for its proposed stadium. The people behind SCSTL, I guess that stands for Soccer Club St. Louis, were supposed to appear before the Missouri Development Finance Board yesterday, but they decided not to do that after Missouri Governor Eric Greitens roasted them on Facebook on Monday, calling the deal, quote, welfare for millionaires, which, he is totally 100% right about. In addition to the $40 million tax credit, the group is also seeking an $80 million sum in taxpayer contributions from the city of St. Louis, and there's a referendum scheduled for that in April. Our last bit of news is a real shocker. Apparently, English people are making fun of the way Bob Bradley talks, specifically the terms road game, which is supposed to be away match, and PK, which is apparently confusing to the people who invented Cockney rhyming slang, to which I say, hey, English people, what is up with the way you conjugate singular nouns as if they're plural? That's right, I'm talking to you, Grove. I heard you say FIFA R on yesterday's pod. Nails on a chalkboard, dude. A chalkboard with a grammar lesson on it that is now illegible because you scratched right through it, mate. And you, Bailey, you did the same thing when you were talking about IKEA the other day. IKEA is, not IKEA are. That makes no sense. Anyway, I understand that English soccer is hegemonic and I'm in the minority on this, so I usually choose not to say anything and instead exact my small measure of revenge by making sure we commit no such abominations in the magazine over the protestations of my English writers. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes they be mad. But I like to think I can laugh at all this, which is why I think the Brad Bobley character created by Soccer AM is so amusing. He's a brash, bald-headed soccer coach who befuddles his English players by talking about cleats and the upper 90 and smacks them with his clipboard when they try to correct him, which, come to think of it, my fellow goalmouthers are lucky they're out of clipboard range, or maybe I am. Anyway, check out the links to watch Brad Bobley in action. I recommend it. And finally, thank you to everyone who sent in a poem or a story about the photographs. Our winning entry is by Michael Enright, who waxes thusly. Shall I compare thee to the great Fort Knox? You're an impassable bearded spider. We succeed with your innumerous blocks, shaved head, camo shirt, you stunning fighter. When not making saves, goals scored from afar, 100 yards away against Bolton, your shot soared like a shooting star. Our opponents can't score, but they can run. To the corner flag and try again, a World Cup 16 against Belgium. You were Gonzalez and Beasler's best friend. If Klinsmann had tactics, we might have beat him. I love your beautiful bronzed, tattooed skin. Due to you, I believe that we will win. My name is George Qureshi. Daryl Grove are going to be with you tomorrow morning. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter where you can click out to all the links I mentioned in today's podcast. The link is in the show notes. Also go and leave us a review. Thank you to everyone who does that. And I leave you with today's Goalmouth top tip. Take it from the husband of a first grade public school teacher. The millionaires and billionaires don't need your tax dollars. Tell the rich guys in St. Louis to build their own stinking stadium.